Okay, and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Victoria 3 in the second attempt to do Prussia, which is going much better than the last one. So we're going to try to keep the roll going. We're looking for a good opportunity to attack Austria for power block control, or for nation formation control, unification control. So who would support us? Who's against us? So Russia apparently would side with us if we declared here. And I think us plus Russia could probably beat the Austrians. So we'll start this. Get an experienced offensive planner. Experienced defensive planner. And then we can just go ahead and sign these guys to the front. Well, light slurs we did last time, we will still activate all the extra supplies. The troops fight a little bit better. Oh, Hanner is running the other side. Can I just call you with normal cold arms? We're going to decline do the cold arms. Okay. So Russia's in the play. Hanover join the other side. How do I want to play Hanover here? Yeah, let's grab one guy and assign him to that front. Hanover is not too big. There we go. Austria backs down. And with that, we have German leadership, and with German leadership, we become the North German Federation. Rid of Klingman. Or the world will know overachievement gain. Influence besiege. Yeah, do the world game. No overachievement. Okay, so, that has significantly empowered our country here. We need more bureaucracy and stuff. That's why we're gonna revisit our all of PMs, make sure they're on the same PMs. Okay, it looks like we're going to build in government bureaucracy, but that's probably fine if we're getting better tax run. So. Rise of radicalism. Support the conservative side. Road to progress. Here are the nationalists. And of course, all the trade agreements we had with the now non-existent countries are gone. Okay. Arsenal and Rebel. Yeah, I can get exiled. Philosophy Department. Progress to Socialism. Camp, don't think that's enough. Government admin at least. Yeah, because the Saxony is the only one that's not basically filled back up. Okay. So then we go to where it's the most abundant. We'll do like 5 levels there. Take an opinion hit with all the radical factions, or just let it go to a different country. Why would I care about if there's the Republicans in other countries, revolutionaries in other countries? That's not gonna come back to bite us in the butt. That probably would come back to bite me in the butt. Northern Federation, that's an agitator, okay. Trade is empty. We'll do that and then we'll put trading ones. I do need one more government admin. We'll actually spread crap too. Okay, what to build? If we had places to make silk, we should probably make silk, but we're going to pass that because we don't. Iron and coal, such look good. Could probably do with some wood and hardwood. Yeah, wood. We're going wood. Like 20 units of hardwood. Or 20 factories of... 20 longer camps. Let's see if I can keep that thought process together. So that's 18. You know, a little overboard. There we go. Make some wood. So the next German unification pops up with pan-nationalism. So I suppose I could rush that by trying to pick up pan-nationalism earlier. But we're not going to worry too much about rushing it. We're going to work on the GDP and the economy a bit in the meantime. Okay, that lumber's built. Industry realized there's a little bit of desire for fertilizer, but nothing overboard. Actually, if anything, the biggest demand I've got here is for clothes. People want clothing for some reason. Some obvious reason. We're just going to build like 40 levels of textile mills. Okay. Let's do 5 highest earning to lowest earning. I think it's predicting that it's not going to be profitable because the, well, first of all, we're going to run out of silk. Like, that's going to be a thing. Let's drop the export tariffs on luxury clothes so we can push that a little bit better into the market. I'm going to abandon my import tariffs on silk, so we can import silk a little bit better. I'll draw up a little bit of government revenue, but I think we can tolerate that. That's a defensive pact with Austria-Hungary, of all things. Okay. After treaty. My people said your people wanted a defensive pact. Money transfer. Like 80k? Or 8k? Yeah. It's not quite enough. Don't necessarily like the unilateral investment rights, but we'll take this for 5 years. So now a play is to crank our prestige as high as we can, so we actually make the prestige requirement to be a great power higher than the Austrians can support. So then when we do the unification play for the whole Germany, we can try to do Super Germany. That's basically how I think we're going to work that. That might be easier to do if you have the DLC when you have prestige goods, but we're going to see if we can do that without the DLC. Art Academy upgrades, yes. Encourage the world to buy our fine art. Yeah, it looks like it's silk imports that are going to be the potential bottleneck in expanding clothing. Well, that and combined with the fact that the luxury clothes are getting a bit cheap. Just a bit cheap. We'll put a mention on export to try to corner the luxury clothes market. Could build more lumber, it looks like. Yeah. Oh, and there's arguably demand for iron because I can export the iron. Okay. crystal glass. Do we have the lead? Probably for that. Gonna cause a sudden drop in wood demand, but I think that'll work out for the best in the short run. Well, maybe in the long run, maybe not in the short run. Maybe that got the order of operations go the wrong way around. Yeah, we'll take the last of the internal trade. Where was the colonization? We finished there. We're going a lot faster now that we've only got the fact that the delta here is thick with people. It's maybe an argument to build up the merchant, or build up ports to have the merchant marines, so we're not importing a merchant marine. I give them coal, they give us trade privileges. Sure. There's... Oh, that's ironclads. We have exactly one military shipyard. We'll switch that one's military shipyard over to it. Actually, no, I should hold off until monitors. Because my boats, all my boats, would still be wooden. And we'd no longer be making the wooden boats to build our own fleet. If we have monitors, or torpedoes or whatever, then we'd have it the other way around, and that would be a good idea. Okay. So presumably you're importing a lot less textiles, and we are probably a pretty heavy exporter of luxury clothes, yeah. And we're building every logging camp in the country to make wood. So we stop importing wood. And that might not even last for very long, and we might go back to importing wood again, just because of the high potential demand for it. Access in the Ruhr. Okay, so that means we need a railway there. The end of spring. There we go. There's the conclusion event for the Springtime of the Peoples. Quite have you up to 200. Are you actually coming up to 200, or are you kind of stuck? Looks like you're kind of stuck. Oh, I'm at the point where I need to put more stuff in the queue. That would be all the lumber, which does appear to be just about enough that we probably don't need to import wood anymore. For now. For now. And we're exporting iron. But you're about 1-to-1, so unless I run the risk of having to subsidize if I keep cranking out more iron production. Gonna go for the high quality food. We're an exporter of engines. Yeah, let's try to target our imports so we stop importing stuff that we could otherwise produce. The exception here, of course, is I'm really not going to try to fix fabrics. Actually, the way I fix fabrics is I probably just accept that the cotton makers of the world can export cotton to me. We don't have any cotton plantations in Germany. I suppose the colonies might actually have cotton plantations. I didn't think of that when I made that comment. Do we have cotton down here? We do. We could build cotton plantations. You know what? Sure. We're gonna build a couple cotton plantations down here. In both colonies. Oh, we can do that to dye as well. We are importing quite a bit of dye. Yeah. Just reduce our dependence on foreign imports and we can take it from our own colonies instead. Obviously can't do anything about the silk. And then we should move on to ports. Our port effectiveness is about to increase. Not shipyards. Industrial port. Oops. Have our different tooltip and get it to stick. There we go. 20. I think we're right now on 15. Or 10. 15. Nope, 10. 15 here because it's 3. It's 5 in, 10 out. And we currently have local production. Oh, okay, so as soon as the tech completes, we're just going to double how much we make locally. So maybe not jump to that conclusion yet. Because that tech's about to complete in, like, now. Offers us the war goal of conquer Alsace or Lorraine. If we back them, then you're going to deploy. Our army is bigger than it was the last time we went up against France. How's the French alliance structure looking? They do have an alliance with the United States. The United States would probably come in. We'd probably want some actual help here. Which if we're accepting your call to arms, we won't be able to get. And if the French call for help, then the French are going to win. So I'm just going to back down. We're not going to accept that call. But yeah. Shipyards, the steamships. Ports, or fishing wharfs, the steam trawlers. And ports to industrial ports. Then we have 0 buildings affected. And sudden supply increase of merchant marine, which will be fixed by the trade ports, hopefully stopping importing them. Causing the price to go up. No, I need more government admin. Then let's queue up like 6 food industries. And then maybe we can see how resilient food demand. So this is about 1,000 food demand, but it's not groceries. So let's build 10 fishing wharfs. Build all the ones at the Elbe. Build. Sure. 6 more. Station's filling up, which generates a tidy profit. Resource or colonial exportation plus one of the techs provides provides throughput, so you can just see these are very productive cotton plantations. And they could be even better if we had automatic irrigation. It does make it tempting to keep expanding those cotton plantations. You know what? I'm just convinced myself I should build more cotton plantations in the colonies down here. Don't necessarily want to max out them, because otherwise we're going to crowd out the ability to build dye as well. Arguably the dye is probably worth more. Postal savings, that'll help with a rapid increase of civilian economy. The private queue. What's the proportion of the private queue to me? Okay, I've apparently expanded big enough, the construction big enough that we are the bulk. Which is probably why we've got a little bit of a debt. Okay, looks like we got some demand for furniture. I'm surprised we got demand for porcelain. Do we have the tech to swipe more glassed porcelain? Not implemented it yet. No, I don't. So that's chemical bleaching. Might be worth trying to grab that if the porcelain's so expensive. Oh, and our glass prices shot up. Interesting. Huh. Yeah, interesting. Oh, iron's going back again because of because of exports. So we could definitely build more iron because the market wants it. We're seeing that standard of living rising. I think we're like 2 from where we started the game. And that is with no healthcare yet. Well, that's actually a pretty healthy trade union. I don't suppose we can get a government with that trade union. I think the radicals are going to say nay. I could decide we're getting off the monarchical system. Who would actually stop us from trying to get off of monarchy? Looks like the church would be very violently opposed to it. Okay. Yeah, the absolutism movement would get a little bit strong. Maybe if we try to invoke some voting laws first. Yeah, let's try to get the vote. Baking powder for the food industries. Grain goes up, groceries goes down. Groceries, of course, bounces back pretty quickly. I mean, that's an indication I can probably build more food industries. Could probably build more furniture industries, honestly, because we got no place to build more wood. Well, I say that, apparently we do have some place. You've got a couple of... Oh, the colonies. The colonies have some lumber capacity. That's fair. But yeah, we got some wood demand. Let's get... Is the furniture makers on the last level? No, we have a mechanized workshop coming, or potentially coming up. Oh, that's a big jump. Okay, let's not do that, because that's going to be 1,000 more furniture, which is actually more furniture than we need. That's similarly why I'm not necessarily splurging too much on the textiles, because the next one's, again, a fairly big jump. And we don't want to have completely saturated the demand for something we will then turn the PMs on and then have more. Could build glass. Especially because the next PM we're going to do on the glass is actually going to make less glass and more porcelain, so glass is valuable enough. Let's produce some. Engines, likewise, even though technically I think we're exporting, that's why it's somewhat valuable. Do I have tobacco in Germany? No. Colonies do, but I don't really want to build tobacco in the colonies. So that explains why tobacco is expensive. Because we haven't made enough of the alternatives. And actually, it's going to be hard for us to make alternatives. Because the alternatives are mostly liquor and opium. And you can only suppress the third if you have the other two. We have liquor, and we can make more liquor. In fact, there's an argument to make more liquor. Definitely an argument to make more liquor. Which means more food factories. So let's make more food factories. In fact, I have more demand for you than the food. Turn you on. We'll see how that does with the balance. We might still queue up more food factories. I must be so used to China. China has access to opium, right? So China has access to tobacco and opium, so it doesn't really need the liquor. Whereas we don't have access to opium, and we don't have great access to tobacco, so... Here. Yeah, okay, so definitely more food factories, more liquor that way. Do like 5 food factories. Spreading them out a little bit. You need food everywhere. From a mappy standpoint, you usually want to put buildings where their consumer is. The exception is the construction chain, because you can put the consumer wherever you want it. So you bring the consumer to the producer. Just realized Twitch chat is asking, is treaty exploit still possible in 1.9.8. I don't know exactly which exploit you're talking about. Some of the exploits might still be possible. Some of them have been fixed. Some of them have probably been overcorrected, where they've basically killed a mechanic, but I never got really that into exploiting the system, to be fair. We got people who want multiculturalism. I don't really got a solution for them. What do we need for multiculturalism? Is it human rights? Okay, we can go human rights after the floating harbor. Supporting the French worker. Yeah. Mass scale trading. So, could go psychiatry, but we also have a ahead of time penalty reduction, so we're just going to actually just force human rights right now. I'm going to click on something else for it to show. So, because we're missing one error to tech, we're paying 3,000 extra, but we got 15% off of that. So we're going to pay a little bit extra, but yeah, we're still going to do human rights. We're going to beeline to human rights. See if we can use it to deal with this problem. I think the answer is no, but we can try. Okay, working on that, working on that. Don't really want to make those two. Could. No, I don't really even want to make paper either, because the paper we're going to source by pulping. There's an argument to make dyes. Currently importing 200, could happily have 200 more. Okay. Could do more glass. I think we're on more glass, yeah. 4 more things of glass, most profitable places. I said glass and built paper mills. That was wrong building. We'll still let them build. It'll be fine. When I was picking where they were going, it was based on their profitability anyway, and they were all positively profitable, so it's not going to be a problem. Okay. Could build more engines, which we just export. Art. Looking, it's like 25 art. That's not a lot. That's 4 art academies. That's a lot of art. Brooklyn Citizen Association. Gain some progress on census rights. Yep, GDP is going up real fast. Standard of living's beginning to follow suit. Repeaters. We are going to activate that right away. Partially to maintain our dominance on the gun export market. A new mandate. We're probably at the point where I want to save up from 3 mandates and just swap something out in its entirety. Nationalist Opera. Performance of the opera nationalist revolutionary themes is an upcoming festival is being openly associated with the Igbo secessionist movement by its proponents. Cancel the fireworks, cancel the illumination, or cancel the revolution. You know what? Cancel the revolution. Oh, I need to put more things in the queue. You need to queue more things. Now, irons are gonna be cheap. More groceries. That's what we're going for. 5 more things of groceries. Okay, that hasn't filled the queue up, so I need to queue something else up. Could go to grain farms. If we're going to do grain farms, I should probably do fertilizers first. So let's do 3 things of fertilizer. And then I think we will do the grain farms. Yeah. Probably wanting to do... And it's 20 each. So 10 is 200. We'd do like 50 wheat farms. Okay, maybe we'll go a little bit more, then we'll do like 60 wheat farms. Oh, some of these places are, out of peasants. May have to start turning some labor saving on. Census suffering. Consensus suffering. Consensus suffrage. One support's going to universal apparently from here. Suppose works. We're to have an election. Let's wait for the election to happen. So off to the races, we have the industrialists in first, the trade unions in second, which means we get the unholy alliance, potentially the unholy alliance between the two of them. Oh, no, a little bit of swing. Coming from behind, we got the Petit Bourgeoisie and the Intelligentsia. I get trade privileges, you get tea. No, you give me tea, I give you trade privileges. Do I like have demand for tea or something? Sure. No, that's plan. This plan's moderation. Official translations. Sure. Better balance. Very small reserve needs not too bad. Hopefully we have a stable government that comes out of this election. The Red Scare. Minus momentum to the SPD. Yeah, communist literature defense, apparently. Here we go. Got election results. What is the stable government? Of course you wanted to join the SPD, which is the one I just torched, so they can't... Okay. Radicals don't like the monarchy, right? Yeah, okay. We're just gonna say the anti-monarchy party just won the election. Because honestly, they kind of did. Popularity... Don't I have an alliance with Russia already? Ooh, agitator. You know, we'll take the agitator. See what type of agitator is. He might be useful. He probably isn't. Protectionist. Yeah, he's not very useful. Good thing we didn't give him leadership of the industrialists. Oh, the air has to be 18? Okay. Apparently we're in a second monarch as well. Didn't realize we swapped monarchs. Chemical bleaching, okay. Trade privileges, I'm not getting investment rights. All indulgent, sure. Bone china, paper bleaching. So paper price went down. Bone china went down. Quite a bit, actually. Drive some benefit for participating ourselves. Human rights, so we can now try to get that multiculturalism. We'll drop the tariffs on porcelain. I think I want that mechanized workshop, so we're going to cannery is into mechanized workshop now. Art Academy, 6 most profitable locations. Arguably got demand for groceries. We'll do most 8 profitable locations. Okay, one of them technically got 2, but that's fine. Okay. We're trying to build wheat farms to lower the grain price, and it's really not doing anything. I think what's ending up happening is we build up grain, and it just means we import less, which is probably good for the GDP, but doesn't really change the price, of course. Engine in progress. Steel roller cars, please. Need some change. We need some more government admin. Not much. That should be enough. So I could go for more colonial affairs as well. Which case then I need more. Awfully close on having this a vault, but hopefully it won't happen. And the private queue is definitely getting more powerful. Slowly using more and more of the queue, which is a good place to be. Okay. There we can go and meat and fish. Blue can fish. And then we'll go into the mechanical workshop, which most notably is going to give sewing machines, mechanized workshop. Which is the 2 most pricey ones over here. Apparently I'm at the point where I just need more paper, because the global market wants my paper. Okay. That's an okay. I'm on board with that. We'll drop the tariffs there. A little bit more paper consuming. And we'll put 8 paper in the queue. Let's try to build domestically, please. Just realizing there's been places I'm being queuing up where there's actually no, workers. Should probably turn in the labor-saving PMs on based off of that hunch. Water tube, yeah, if that's profitable, then we're there. Some of these are... Okay, some of these are not profitable, some of these are profitable, but we'll turn them on. It's a notable not profitable, but... Okay, turn those labor-saving PMs on. And I should start going through and doing the railroads next. These guys will calm down when we make the swing at multiculturalism, which is next. That's what I'm going to try to swing for next. Oh, that's why it's going so slow, as I don't have a stable government. Unacceptable. Would prefer contested. Would prefer contested. Of course, turning the labor saving account wasn't necessarily good for the GDP because it threw up some of the prices, like the coal. So now we got a lot of demand for coal. 50 levels of coal. Do it based on peasants. Okay. Mob approaches. Looking at these guys, I'm like, okay, I can go move to coastalism and that'll calm them down. I look at them and realize they have absolutely no, real support. They're just angry, real angry. Okay. Sick leave. Mechanized workshops. Okay, do you want to run to pump jacks? Steam donkey pump jacks, explosives. Or could go corporatism. Better bring the evangelicals in. Actually, we can really do the healthcare anyway because we've got the trade unions up. Okay, with that in the thought process, let's go steam donkey for labor saving and then explosives. Pump jack. I think the plantation's more effective. Open this will pass. This will end the monarchy, which will make it so that the winning party is actually the head of government when we have elections. So in this case, it would have been an industrialist instead of a military guy, who's actually from the weakest party. Yeah. Police brutality. Yeah, we'll take the down. Can always press the button to set it back up again. The glacial progress. Because we have a contested government. Or an acceptable government? Unacceptable government. The trial of the monarch. This is not justice. Yeah, we'll go this is not justice. The party that's in charge right now is in charge because the monarch supports them. Weirdly. Ottoman North German Federation, okay. Building a bunch of coal. Which we have demand for because of all the labor saving PM. We're starting to work through that demand, to be fair, but... Breach loading artillery. Go ahead and toggle that on. Oh, and I forgot when we did that. Helps if we turn these on. Don't kind of do anything if you don't turn them on. Mechanized loom. Sense labor. Breach loader. There's the steam donkeys. We assume we have the engines, and we probably don't actually have all the engines we're going to need for that. So start turning those on. Okay. Let's do it the one that's everywhere first, which is the lumber. Well, basically everywhere first. Yeah, that makes the engine price go up. King must demonstrate his connection to the people. Or, you know, we'll make him not be the king anymore. The levies. Aid for change. Instead of getting momentum, getting 20% progress towards the current law. Will be voted on before the election. And should pass. Democratic Solidarity. Parliamentarian Republic. A radical expansion. I think I know which party is winning. The Free-Minded People's Party. Helmuth is our new Chancellor. Doesn't look like Helmuth, but okay. Chancellor Oscar Arndt. Radical, cruel, expert politician, head of the petite bourgeoisie. Public schools. I think it's time to introduce some schooling. Oh no, we have schooling. We already have public schooling. That's why they're happy. That makes sense. Public healthcare? Trade unions are in power. Labor movement supports. Church supports. It actually helped calm the church down a little bit. That might actually be a good reason to do it, to help calm the church down. Yeah, let's do some public healthcare. Oh, I was gonna do multiculturalism, but none of the current parties actually really support it, and I don't think we really have any support for it anyway. Even though we have people actively revolting because we aren't giving it out. This one. Oh, wait, 2% for, 46 against. I have a feeling that's not going to pass, even if I tried. I think we definitely need to produce more engines. So queue up 6 things of engines. And that can be used to swap more of these over on the labor saving PMs. So we set up more of the help of armors. Yep, focus on passing the law. So you swap over to more steam donkeys. Yep, GDP is up. Standard of living is up. It's been a little bit higher in the past, but it's up, and will probably go up a lot more once we actually enact public health care here. I think I'm going to run this part a little bit long. I recognize we've come on an hour, but I'm going to want to get I want to get public health care done. Get that vote done. And I suppose as part of that, we're going to want to actually start implementing it, which means I need some places to have government admin. Should probably swap over to, arguably swap over to job seekers for figuring out where to build things going forward. And actually probably drop like the worst taxes. Oh, my government's stable now. Can we have some taxes, please? Thank you. I just remembered that I'd lowered the taxes because we were having an incredibly unstable government while we were trying to, you know, get off of monarchy. And nationalism. So, the beginning of the next stream. And I can tell you it's coming. The beginning of the next stream. Wrong tab. Information. Beginning of the next stream will be the launch unification play. Demand all required states for comfort unification not owned by unification supporters, subjects, or allies. There is maybe an argument to try to lower their prestige or raise the bar, but that's not easy. We're not really gonna try. Well, would I have to do like a humiliate war on them? So I have to declare them a rival, and I have to humiliate them. Then I have to stop rivaling them before their prestige recovers. Launch the unification play. I'll think about how we can do that next time. But we're going to unification play next time and form Germany. The question is just, can we get Austria in on that? Or are we just going to be normal Germany, not super Germany? Because I believe it annexes everyone who is not a great power that supports you. And Austria-Hungary right now is a great power. Fair enough. We're going to want those engines. We're going to want the government admin as well, but engines first. So there's the public health care. Got the admin for the first one. Yeah, and we can get another 1.5 standard of living by raising that. That'll bring us up to at least 15. It may actually bring us a little bit past 15, because I wouldn't be surprised if we're suffering some pollution. Okay, the pollution's not too bad. 18's like a half. Okay, it did maybe save us another half standard. Yeah. So the next one, we're going to be actually implementing that healthcare we just passed. We're going to be becoming Germany. So the question is, do we become normal Germany or super Germany? We'll have to look into what we need to do, the plausibility of doing Austria-Hungary. In fact, actually, we might try save coming the first attempt to see if we could do it. I think what we need to do is drop their prestige enough that they drop out of the great powers. So that we have to drop them below 292. A humiliate would do that, I think. But yeah. Return entry. So we got German unification kicking around. We'll complete if we have the nation Germany. So there's less special mechanics to the German one than there is the North German Federation. But yeah, so everything in green. Is a German core that is owned by German. The bit that's in red is a German core owned by non-German. So if we did the we do the demand unification here, I believe it would be us versus France and apparently the United States. And probably Brazil. We'd probably be able to sway in Russia, Great Britain. Because it's a unification play, I think it will bring in Austria-Hungary, possibly. Not so sure. Oh, it's up at the top. Austria-Hungary would come in. I'm not sure whether or not it would actually annex Austria-Hungary. I don't think it will, because Austria-Hungary is a great power. I could be wrong, and maybe they get integrated. They do support us for unification, which is, I think, the other component. I think they have to actually be actively supporting you. Now, there's only one choice. It's us, or us. So, in fact, we control enough of Germany. We could hit press form Germany if we want to declare it Germany. We don't want to do that. In fact, actually, we fully control 27 of the 23, and is it saying if I press this button, we just immediately get Austria? let's save and check that. This is going to be the stream save anyway, so Prussia run stream save 1. Probably should have saved between the parts, but it didn't. It's one of the reasons we saved scum the last one. What happens if I press that button? Okay. That wasn't the outcome I was expecting, but that worked. So we got everything except for Bavaria, and Alsace-Lorraine because the French obviously on that. Next time, we'll try what launch the unification play does. Because if it still integrates Austria-Hungary, then yeah, we do that. If it doesn't, this is probably the stronger play, and then, okay, we have to integrate Bavaria. That's not too bad. And we'd have to attack France for Alsace-Lorraine, which isn't... If we got Austria-Hungary and the German army, isn't going to be too bad. But that'll be next time. So if you're watching on YouTube, we'll figure out which of these two buttons was the better one to press. We just saw what happens if we press this button. And honestly, that's too powerful. But we're going to find out if that's the better of the two presses. It might actually be the better of the two presses where you just hit Form Germany here. You have Super Germany, and then you have to annex the things that you don't get. But we'll try that out next time. We did save right before this. We'll basically undo it by loading up next time. We're going to implement healthcare. We're going to form a Germany. We're going to form whatever Germany makes the most sense, right? So we can do a little bit of save skimming at the beginning of the next stream to determine whether the unification play or form Germany is the better of the two choices. And then we're going to be raising the GDP, raising the standard of living. And then figuring out what nonsense we can get up to with apparently Super Germany, because we're probably going to have Super Germany. With all the armies that come with it. How big is the army? 315. If I remember the combined army of America and France, I think that's bigger than the combined American-French army. It depends on how drafted up America is. If America goes full drafted, it'll be smaller than the American army. Yeah. So I hope you've been enjoying the videos. The first attempt didn't go really well because I tried to do something where it worked in older patches where you'd go ahead and take over Beijing because of the culture changes since the last time I played Germany. That doesn't work anymore. And then we had all sorts of futs with France getting into our subjects because I didn't do a defensive act. That's something obviously we would change at this point in the run. At this point in the run, we're not really defending anyone. So we'd move off of defensive cooperation onto some other mandate set. Probably also attempting to move off of internal trade and do an external trade. Things we may do come the next run, or come the next stream. GDP is obviously up a lot. This is not going to be a good indicator because this is actually Super Germany. So it may not have... yeah, no. So you can see we were probably about 118 million GDP before forming Super Germany here. The Super Germany is 150, so it's basically another 50 million. In fact, actually, that's just showing you how weak Austria-Hungary is that it's only adding 50 million. It was half our size. We got a lot of... Well, illiteracy is going to go down because we've just done the thing. We do have Tier 3 education, so education's doing pretty good. Population's growing. Again, it's... Don't think that's... Oh, and you can see... Yeah, so Austria was half our GDP, but the same number of people we had. Yeah, we just opened up a bunch of potential for growth. I think the standard of living is probably going to go down, because it probably hasn't calculated for the new states, which are stated, so that will drag it down. Yeah, I think we're off to a particularly good start here. We are going to revert to the save we did just before this, so we can see if the unification play or the form Germany is the better of the two buttons. we'll do that a little bit of testing saves coming at the beginning of next stream. And then we're gonna, again, this is a run less focused on raising the GDP and more on seeing how high we can get the standard of living. So the first task is basically get everyone gainfully employed, and then try to slowly transition to, and everyone's an owner while we own the rest of the world. So we can raise the standard of living that way. And or go communist, whichever happens first. I suspect with the standard of living this high, it won't be go communist. It'll be we try to own the world. By proxy. We're the world's owner class is probably what we'll try and do going. So if you're watching on YouTube, there will be a part up tomorrow, assuming recording schedules go as planned. I record 4 parts per stream every 4 days. So if things have gone according to plan, by the time you're watching this on YouTube, the next part should have been recorded on Twitch live, probably the night before last. And in fact, the next part should probably already be uploaded and scheduled for release for you by tomorrow, if everything's gone according to plan. If things haven't gone according to plan, I'll be running around with my head on fire, probably trying to fix that. There should be a part by tomorrow if things go anywhere near according to plan. The backup plan. Plan B should get you a part up by tomorrow. If we're on plan C, where you'll get I don't have a part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, I hope you've been enjoying. This is probably the last call for you to try to get comments responded to live before I bring the stream down. So if you've got anything you want to see in the game, talk about in the game, leave your comments here. If you're watching on YouTube, obviously feel free to leave those sort of things in the comments as well. I do try to remember to keep the saves around, so if someone has a interesting question, I'm not opposed to bringing up a save and looking at the answer to that question. If you've got a question on YouTube, even though YouTube is not watching it live, obviously. YouTube gets the local recording. If you're watching on YouTube and you want to try to catch it live, I stream everything under the Twitch username willcall. If you're watching it on Twitch and you've missed a part, which you shouldn't have because this is the first stream for this run, but if you want to see any of the other Victoria 3 runs, you can go hop on the YouTube channel, which is willcall100. Where all the VODs that are older by more than 7 days old should be uploaded by, and in fact I try to upload them sooner than that, right? So they should be uploaded and people should have been able to watch them before they come down off Twitch. So yeah, upcoming streams tomorrow. I think we're doing Terra Invicta tomorrow. I forgot what my streams are coming up. Let me alt-tab out and find that out. What have I put on the schedule? I know I've got a hole in the schedule, because I haven't decided what the newest replacement game is going to be. Yeah, Terra Invicta tomorrow, unless I change my mind. I'm not going to change my mind at this point. Terra Invicta is going to be tomorrow. The day after that is going to be the continuation of the Sparta run in Field of Glory's Empire. Monday's the full question. Monday, I'm thinking maybe XCOM. I can never remember actually finishing XCOM, so I need to actually do I need to record at this point so I can remember if I've actually finished it or not. So we're gonna begin a run of XCOM, I think, on Monday. So that's tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, and the day after that day will be the continuation of this series, which should be Tuesday. Tuesday night should be the continuation of the Prussia series here. Obviously, we're not Prussia anymore. We will be Germany. At some point in that stream, we will be Germany. Quite possibly Super Germany, because we just realized at the end of the stream that we can literally press a button and have Super Germany. So with that, don't see any comments. So again, last call for comments. If you want to get any comment responded to on Twitch. But I am going to go ahead and give the outro for YouTube to stop the recording. So if you're watching on YouTube, hope you have been enjoying. Until next time, wish you the best of luck and a good time. And bye for now.